Hello, everyone, and welcome to Behind the Biz Real Stories, Real Results. And I'm Lynne Craig, VP of Digital Marketing at Fruition. And joining me today is one of our very valued and long term clients.
Yep.
Brady Johnson is the Director of Sales and Marketing for a luxury dude ranch in Colorado, Sea Lazy U Ranch. And excited to dive into what he's been working on and his business and how we've been working with him and really get into a conversation around all of that. So, to make a little pun, let's giddy up and I will ask you some questions, Brady, but welcome.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, I thought the first thing that we could do is have you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, your role at Sea Lazy U Ranch, and what you do there, as well as what the ranch is all about for those that may not have experienced a dude ranch before.
Yeah. Absolutely. My name is Brady Johnson. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for Sea Lazy U Ranch. I've been with the property for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
I've done everything from activities to food and beverage, um, really everything on the entire property. But my main focus is sales and marketing right now. The ranch is an 8,500 acre luxury guest ranch, and we're here to provide a vacation experience. So it's a very high end, elevated dude ranch. Primarily families in the summer, but we do a lot of corporate retreats. We do weddings. We are open year round. So a lot of things that we do on the property, but it's just a fun place to be. We sell fun, which is really cool. Not everybody gets to work in the business where you get to sell fun. We have a great customer base. We have a very high rebooking customer retention rate. People come back to the ranch year after year the same week because they have such a great time, and then they tell their friends. And it's our job with Fruition to find new guests because everyone lives their life cycle on the ranch, but they're not going to come forever. So that's where Fruition fits in.
Awesome. Well, you kind of did a nice segue into kind of going back to the beginning. We've been partners with Sea Lazy U Ranch for 10 years now. Um, how did you initially hear about us, and what were you looking for in a digital marketing agency at that time?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I wasn't looking for a digital marketing agency. The way that it was out of necessity.
Uh-huh.
So Fruition was actually referred to us through our PR company. And ironically, right at the same time, the lady who was helping us with all our digital marketing needs at the time, Margaret, who's based in Ohio, she came to me and she said, Brady, like what you need me to do has outgrown me. You need to go find a professional because she's really good at what she does, but
Mhm.
pay per click and SEO wasn't her primary focus. She's more coding websites, some design work, and things like that. And then right at the same time, our PR company, they were helping us with social media. And they kind of told me the same thing. They said, this is getting a little out of control. We were just doing it to help our clients because nobody was doing it back then. Nobody was really managing other people's social media. They did it out of necessity, but they said, the social media scope of the world right now, the marketing scope, it's outgrown our capabilities as well. So the two people I relied and trusted most both told me they couldn't do it anymore, and I was like, uh-oh, this is a tough situation for the
Mhm.
ranch. I need to go find a digital marketing company. And fortunately, BPR said, call Fruition. They're based here in Colorado. Your office was in Cherry Creek at that time. Um, and that's how it all started. And here we are, over a decade later.
Would like to also find out a little bit about or hear from you in your own voice and your opinion on the services that we provide for you. And
Mhm.
if you could elaborate on any specific services or strategies that we've implemented for Sea Lazy U Ranch.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of things. So we'll kind of break them apart and
Hmm.
compartmentalize them a little bit, but they all tie together. I think that's the most important part. That's what works really well working with you guys is that it's one cohesive marketing plan, but it's a lot of little things that we're focusing on. Search engine optimization, that's kind of the core, the foundation. Very focused on our website. That's a big driver of business for us. So right now, all of our bookings go through our website, and people they basically need to start at the top of the funnel, which is our website, and work their way through and fill out an online booking inquiry, and then we get those inquiries. So driving traffic to the website is the most important thing we can do right now. It is the lifeblood of our business. So the way we work with Fruition is all the different ways we drive traffic. So search engine optimization, really focusing on those keywords. Um, and then obviously our blogs. You guys have been great in helping come up with new content for the blogs to also help drive traffic to the website. We have a lot of different paid campaigns that you help oversee and manage, mainly on Google. We do the Performance Max. But that's driving that paid traffic to the website, and then
And
the social media piece.
yeah, I was gonna
What's
say
that?
we do Google search too, right? Right.
Yep, Google search. Yep, absolutely. And then the social media is a huge piece as well, which you're managing our content on, building content calendars, managing just our day-to-day content, but also putting paid spend behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we do have posts that are performing well, we can accelerate them with paid, but we also have a number of paid campaigns that are focused on a year-round basis that are more evergreen, and then we have paid campaigns that are focused on a seasonal or event basis. And not only with social media, but we also do that with our Google paid campaigns as well. So it's quite a bit that you guys help us oversee, but it all works together. And then really in the end, it's just drive as much traffic as we can to the website.
Gotcha. When you think about the services that you just mentioned and what we're providing you, is there one that you feel that sticks out that's really made the biggest impact on your business?
Mm-hmm. I would probably say it's probably the most boring one, which is just helping us oversee the website and
Uh-huh.
SEO and driving traffic to the site and helping us audit specific pages. I mean, like I said, it's the lifeblood of our revenue pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
And if the website isn't functioning correctly and people aren't having a good experience making their way through the website, that's where we're going to lose them. So that's probably the core of it is the
Mm-hmm.
SEO. Where we can have the biggest impact, I'd say, in the shorter term, because that's ongoing. It's every day. You're always improving.
Mm-hmm.
But where we can have the biggest impact on the short term, I'd say, is the paid spend, like our Google paid campaigns, because those are the ones where I pick up the phone and I call you or Emma and I go, I need business for Christmas. We're a month out. I don't know what to do. You can't do anything on the website that's going to change other than dropping your rates. But what I can do on Google is put out a very well thought out campaign and put some money behind it, $1,000 or a couple $1,000s. And with those campaigns, we've demonstrated time and time again that we can 5x our returns. I mean, I can spend $5,000 and make $25,000. And sometimes, I mean, we're even 10xing them. So those are the little short-term levers. And I
Mm-hmm.
always think of sales and marketing as like, what lever can you pull? It's almost like you have a soundboard at a concert. The guy in the back of the concert, he's like turning this dial, turning that dial. But SEO is like, or not SEO, pay-per-click is one of my favorite dials. It's like when you're in trouble, you turn it up and you go get that business. And you guys have been awesome at turning that dial up for us to get that last minute business.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's great. Want to shift a little bit to talk about your experience with Fruition. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is our team and the talent that they have and their experience. But I'd love to hear a little bit from your perspective, how you would describe your experience working with the Fruition team.
Yeah. It's obvious to me and the people that in our organization that work with Fruition that everybody's an expert in their own field. I think that's super important. Our social media account head or lead really understands social media, and the person who's doing the ads in social media, they know that. The person working on SEO. So what I really like about the team that you guys have assembled is that each person has their area of expertise. And it's clear it's their area of expertise. So that really helps. But the people are what really makes it. And obviously everybody has to be good at their job. to
Mhm.
be successful, but it's just a fun team. Like we have a great time. We enjoy working together.
Yeah.
You have a knack for hiring people that are personable and smart and fun to be around. That certainly helps. And like I said before, we're in the business of selling fun. I mean, we're a luxury vacation destination. Our product is easy to sell, and so it's easy for us to have fun together as a team as we're selling it.
Well, that's great to hear. Speaking of fun, any fun or memorable moments that come top of mind that you had while working with us?
Yeah, we always do we try to do an annual planning, retreat to the ranch, so to speak. Those are always a lot of fun. Getting the whole Fruition team to our property, we call it a retreat. It is in a way, but it's the best way for your team to live and breathe our product by
Mhm.
experiencing it. And those have been some of the funnest times over the years when we get everybody up there and we go trap shooting or horseback riding. Sometimes we
Or
go horseback
sledding.
riding in the snow or sledding. Yes.
That
Or
we'll
just,
leave that one as a
yeah.
memory in the
Oh,
past.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. Um, or, it's fun sitting around, in the dining room. We have this beautiful, lodge like big, beautiful log lodge with our dining room and just sitting around and having a nice meal and a bottle of wine and sharing stories, but also collaborating. I mean, those are some of the best times we come up with the best ideas. Like, oh my
Mhm.
God, we can sell the ranch this way, or we can tweak this one little thing. So the collaboration's good as well.
It is one of my favorite times of the year, but it is everybody else in the office that's not on the account. They get very, very jealous when we make our trip to See Lazy U. As a matter of fact, we were all together last night, and someone's like, "Can I just join the See Lazy U account for like a month, and then month that you guys all get together for the retreat?" But they know how much fun that not only that we have together, but working with you, and it is like a chance to be able to market and promote such a beautiful property and just the experiences that we've had on property, but I know that your guests have had as well. We feel honored that we get to be a part of that. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, Gonna shift a little bit now to some of the results and success stories that you've experienced with Fruition. And also if there's
Okay.
anything that you're like, we had a hiccup here and we got over it and here's how. I just want, I want these to be very honest and engaging conversations. So since, you've been partnering with Fruition, what kind of results have you seen? Has it been in a particular channel or, you know, maybe talk us through a little bit about that?
Yeah, and I'm in budgeting right now because it's the fall and everybody hates to budget. So I'm looking at the numbers pretty close. I don't need to state a bunch of facts, so I'm just going to give some general
Hmm.
type of numbers. But when we started working with Fruition, our revenue was about half of what it is now, and we've doubled our revenue, and it's over a number of years. So that's the biggest one that stands out. It's like,
Hmm.
okay, if you work with a good digital marketing company and you set out a new path and a bunch of new goals, can you double that revenue over a period of time? And we've successfully done that. And so I think that's probably the biggest one because we needed to do that as an organization for the success of our organization. More specifically, getting in the weeds, our lead volumes, they've grown exponentially. When we were first working together, we were psyched if we got 100 leads a month, and I had
Uh-huh.
one reservationist that could easily handle it. What we're seeing now is anywhere from 750 to 1,000 leads a month coming through our website. So like that's like a 10x on incoming leads to help support that business. So that's been a really, really, really big one, and that's the big push because we drive all our business through the website. In addition, I think we've we've solidified our brand awareness not only in Colorado but nationally. So I think that's a big piece too because my long time at the ranch, we've always had a mission. We're the Colorado vision and mission that are Colorado's premier guest ranch,
Mhm.
and that's very important to us. But you can say you're the best at something, but the proof is in the pudding. But what Fruition has really helped us is they've helped support that. Everything we do, using our voice, using the right voice with our customers, using the right design templates, elevated style in all of our marketing. It's not just analytics and digital marketing and Google search results. I mean, you have to embody our brand, and take it to the next level in order for us to truly be Colorado's premier guest ranch. And it's somewhat of a self-fulfilling prophecy because over time you do become that, and I truly believe we are. And that's been a great part, unintended consequence or an intended consequence of working with Fruition is just really kind of elevating our brand across all platforms so that it's consistent and clear.
Cool. No, I appreciate you sharing that. Are there any big initiatives that you see happening in the horizon? Are you going to be redesigning a website? Are you going to be changing any of your marketing or branding, or are you happy where you're at?
Yes, well, we're doing a couple of big things, and we're a little bit old school in that we pick up the phone and we do a lot of our bookings over the phone,
Hmm.
and we've always historically done that. So we are making a big shift right now, actually, this fall into next year, and going online with our bookings, which I know sounds crazy because every every resort or hotel
That's
in the
big.
world pretty much has an online booking engine. But we're just a very customer first, high service level type of a sales approach. So it always meant picking up the phone. So that's a big change for us, which is exciting. And so
Hmm.
Fruition's helping us with that transition and making sure that our user experience through the website uh, isn't diminished, or is it improved or diminished. We have to look
Hmm.
at all the different ways that people being able to book online and make sure they get the right information that our
Yeah.
reservationists are telling them over the phone, because now our website's going to have to do all the talking. And then in addition to that, we are looking at redoing our website, just to continually create that better user experience. There are some things that I want to do personally because I think we can do them better,
Hmm.
that the current website isn't allowing us to do. Some of it's aesthetically, some of it is the user experience, some of it's just simply
Hmm.
the right photos and being the right size. So we have a lot of fun stuff coming down the pipeline. The good thing is that we have lots of business to support it, so we're heading in the right direction.
Awesome. That's exciting. Keep me posted. I'll be watching. Um, Going to shift gears just a little bit. We said that this
Yep.
is going to be a fun conversation, so I've got some random questions for you
Okay.
if you are ready. Um, this one, if well, I'm going to go to this one first. If you had to explain fruition to a friend at a party, what would you say?
Mm, First and foremost, I'd just say they're very talented. They're experts in their field. They're smart. They're a lot of fun to work with, and then most importantly, they deliver results. They get it done, so it's worth the money. I would definitely tell them that like many things in life, you have to spend money to make money.
Mm,
um, the tough part is figuring out where to spend that money. I think
yeah.
that's your biggest strength at Fruition, is helping you direct funds to the right place. We do not have a huge budget. We've grown it over the years and we've grown together, which has been great. But it's like we still have to be laser focused on, okay, we have a limited budget. Where can we get the most impact? And I think that's where you guys really excel.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, and you just got me thinking about this was when I was directly on and working on your account several years ago, but it was during COVID. Remember
Mhm.
when everything shut down, and it was you had to shut down the ranch, and then afterwards, even once you open it back up, they had the fire. But I
Yeah.
remember when COVID shut down, then when they started opening things up, especially within the hospitality industry, and you and I were talking, it's like, Brady, what do you want to do? Like, I'm from that same philosophy, is that you don't shut things down just because everything else shut down, or you don't stop
Yeah.
advertising because you're in the middle of a recession. You might not have the budget. You find that budget to keep it going,
Yeah.
because it's harder to scrape back up and get back up there. And I really appreciated you came with that mentality of, nope, we're going to keep doing what we've been doing. I mean, we pulled back some during the height of it all, but when
Mhm.
things were starting to open back up, I love that you had that approach of, nope, we're going to continue. We're going to keep our ad spend budget the same. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to, obviously we changed the messaging and tweaked the messaging because of the situation. And I think it really benefited the property. Like you
Mhm.
ended up, I know your occupancy at that time, you could only be, was it 70 or 80%? And you were able to fill that and really capitalize on people wanting to get outside. But I think the net of it was you didn't shut it all off.
Yeah.
And as a result, you were able to, I think, overcome some of your other competitors and really stay ahead of the game and not lose out on that revenue. So
Yeah, marketing it's a multi-year journey. I always think
hmm
it's funny when people are like, "Oh, I'm going to spend a bunch of money and then turn it on, turn it off." It's not, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Yep.
You have to invest in it, and sometimes the return of marketing, it can take a long time to see the
Mhm.
results. I mean, we did a trade show in 2014 in Australia of all places. I signed up for that one right
As I said,
away,
come
by the way.
on.
I was like, I will go to Australia to the trade show. I got a call 2 weeks ago from somebody who said, I met you in Australia. And it's like, you never know what impact you're going to have on someone. When you have the right product, you just may not have it at the right time in their life.
hmm
Um, and I think for See Lazy You, that's true for a lot of people. And, during COVID, nobody was traveling, but everybody was searching travel. And remember how cheap it was for us to buy the ads?
Oh
Because
gosh.
nobody was paying for it because a bunch of dummies at Marriott and Hilton, don't tell them I said this. They turned off their marketing engines and they didn't realize that everybody who was marketing was doing it really inexpensive and people were dreaming of
Uh-huh.
their next vacation. Well, we were capturing all of that traffic
Yep.
and we're still benefiting from it. I mean, we've had a multi-year success story coming out of COVID because of that, because people found us during
Yep.
COVID and people found our industry more importantly and they
hmm
began to love it. So yeah,
Yep.
there's a lot to be said for continually investing in your marketing. It's
hmm
super important.
Very well said. One last random question for you. What was the most unexpected thing you've learned while working with Fruition?
Um, Everything. No, that's that that's probably the easiest way to put it.
hmm
I think I've received a master's in marketing without going to school to get it.
hmm
When I started doing the marketing for See Lazy You, I was not. I didn't go to college for it. I went to college for finance. I was in the business school, so I took marketing classes, but I
hmm
knew nothing about running a resort, sales and marketing department. And so I had to learn as I go. But the one thing I did know was that I had to hire people who were smarter than me and
Yep.
or companies. And fortunately, we found Fruition through the referral that we received um, because I've learned so much. I've
hmm
learned everything about social media, SEO, pay per click, content management, um, and I'm always amazed when I go and talk to my peers in the industry. It's like they're they're always impressed at how well versed See Lazy You is. They think
hmm
we're just a bunch of cowboys with cowboy hats, hoping people show up at our door, but we're very sophisticated, and it's
Yeah.
because we work with Fruition to help us get the guests there, and we're light years ahead of our industry because of it.
Interesting.
All the other ranchers in our industry, they're like, they're just now starting to think about a digital marketing company. They try to do it on their own to save money, which is just a terrible idea.
hmm That's interesting. Yeah, I was kind of hoping you would have had your cowboy hat on today, going all in on the See Lazy You life.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Um, just wanted to get into, some advice and closing thoughts. And one of them would be, what advice would you give to businesses that are considering working with Fruition? What it's like to work with us, or what to what to expect or what to prepare for.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean the first piece of advice is you need a marketing company. You need a digital marketing company. Things are just moving too fast right now. You need somebody who's a professional that really is an expert in every facet of digital marketing. So that would be my first piece of advice is, make sure you find the right company. Um, and then once you do, and hopefully it's Fruition because you guys are awesome.
We hope so too. But yes, I appreciate the
What
candid. Yeah.
once you do, like, approach it with an open mind. I mean, I think that's super important because I think running a small business, you might say, okay, I want to put this much money into this effort, and
Hmm.
so you might be a little bit one tracked mind. But go with an open mind because you may not have a social media presence, or you may have never done, advertising or paid advertising with Google or social media because it could be a scary world, right? You
Hmm.
could burn through 50 grand in a month if you're not paying attention, if you set it up the wrong way. But my advice would be, build a well-rounded marketing plan,
Hmm.
and don't spread yourself too thin, but try to utilize the funds you have and try to put them in as many places as you can. Because if you just put them in one place, you're kind of putting all your eggs in one basket. And I think that's what's worked really well with us is that we're focused on four core things, or four core
Hmm.
areas, but we're addressing all of them equally, but they kind of piggyback off of each other. Like, managing our website and our organic reach through our website and our SEO, it doesn't really work unless we're driving business to the
Yeah.
website and supporting it with paid ads and things like that. So, utilize all the different areas of expertise that you guys have, and try to participate in as many as you can because it's just going to help you be more successful.
Awesome. That's great advice. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for sharing and spending some time with me. I know you are super, super busy and have been traveling a ton, but I appreciate the time that you've taken just to share your thoughts and feedback and how you've worked with us and just in general from a business perspective, some of your marketing tips that you've shared. So greatly appreciate it. And, it's on behalf of myself as well as the rest of the Fruition team, it really is a pleasure working with you. We've loved watching your growth. I've loved watching it, through the years and really excited to see where it goes next, especially, talking about the new website and just the booking engine and how that's going to change your business. But also on property, I've seen what you've done recently with the See Lazy You, not just you, but YOU. See, we
Yes.
got your brand. Um, but seeing that new addition and how you're promoting it and what it's doing to provide another amenity for your guests, it's really cool to watch that growth too and happen.
Yeah.
So, but any parting thoughts before we wrap up?
No, it's been a fun journey. So it's
Yeah.
great talking with you today.
Well, same here. Well, thank you so much, Brady. And
Yeah.
I will see you soon, I'm sure. But thanks everyone for listening. That's a wrap for today's Behind the Biz, real stories, real success. And if you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to like or share or subscribe on our socials to watch more of them. And if you're looking to take your business to that next level, we'd love to hear from you. But in the meantime, also, I will be incorporating into this blog some of the links to Sea Lazy Ranch so you can check out their property as well. And who knows, maybe someone might become your next guest, Brady.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, Lynn.